Okay, so what I was gonna say that well, obviously we're coming to Rosh Hashanah. Obviously, I don't want it to be like a Rosh Hashanah, discussion. I mean, we'll speak. It's gonna be intertwined. I don't want the typical, Teshuvah, fear the Lord, right? We don't. You have to repent. You're a sinner. You should feel guilty. You should fear God because you're going to go to hell. Do Teshuvah. No, that works for extremely ultra super black and white Orthodox. But even then, it's questionable. And the idea is that let me ask you a question. Okay. How long have we been trying to do Teshuvah? For? How long? Huh? Ever, right? So we're trying to do Teshuvah, right? Every year we do Teshuvah, and then there have been a lot of people before us trying to do Teshuvah, right? So something looks wrong. So we're like 3,000 years or 2,000 years later after the Beis Hamikdash, and I mean, in the past 2,000 years. I think, I'm focusing on, I'm trying to be a better person, I'm doing mitzvahs. Now, I don't want to feel like I'm a star, but, I mean, there was a Baal Shem Tov and Vinagon. I have a hard time to believe that I was better than them in doing mitzvahs and, working on midos. Vinagon, Baal Shem Tov, Ramchal, Rambam, Rashi. So they did the same thing than us. Al Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah. Hashem, please. On Rosh Hashanah we don't do that. But Hashem, you're the king, save the world. So they tried hard, And I don't know how we can even compare ourselves to those great people. So what are we really trying to do? There's something wrong. We're still here 2,000 years later, after the Rambam, the Baal Shem Tov, everything tried. Like, what's missing?
It's actually, in the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over.
Right,
and over,
Einstein, and expect different results. Right.
It's like, we've been doing this for thousands of years. Like, nothing's changed.
Excellent, yes.
Change it up.
That's we're not insane yet. Are we?
Look at the world.
Yeah,
pretty insane, man. Pretty insane. So, I mean, my kids always tell me you're weird. So, I'm a bit insane, for good and for bad. So the question is like, okay, what really needs to be changed? Because if we just, look at the state of the world, it doesn't look like we have evolved so much. We're still doing the same, and it doesn't. The world evolves. The world is evolving because God is bringing the world to evolve. But it doesn't look like, what can we do more than the previous generation didn't do? Improving your midos? I don't think so. I mean, usually for yourself. But is this gonna bring Moshiach? I think a lot of people before you read all those books of tzaddikim. Like in the library, I have 20,000 tzaddikim. Like, he never spoke Lashon Hara. He never, Shabbos, he got fired every Shabbos. Like, I don't even know if I can do one of those super qualities. So I don't even need those books because I'll never be able to reach it. So what it is that really we're meant to do? What's missing? There's a piece missing, and Moshiach is not here because of that. So obviously it seems to be clear that it goes a bit beyond ourselves. And in a way, that's the key of the answer. If I think that just doing my own little thing, is what's going to bring Moshiach, although, maybe you're Baal Shem Tov, yes, and you speak to Moshiach, when you're teaching, go all over, and I'm going to come. But us, I can barely talk to my wife before she gets angry, So talking to Moshiach. So what can we do? On what level are we able to do something? On what level do we matter? It must sound strange to ask such a question, because I always say, you can't change the world. But really, yes, there's on level we can change the world, and on which we have to focus. And that level is really the level of being a real man who is gonna go beyond himself. Meaning, yes, you have to do your own personal work, but the Jewish people are only going to be safe when people are going out of their bubble box, and well, it's the bubble, it's not the box, but they're going out and they are really doing something that expands and changes the outside, like little revolutions, right? We need to do really a Jewish Tony Robbins. The
Like
future,
the
future Jewish Tony Robbins, but even better than that. It's gonna write the future visualization, audiovisual Torah movie is gonna change. That's gonna change the whole vision how to, approach Torah, whatever. I'm just giving examples, but and the greatest a way to do marketing and to reach people, or I don't know, like something that is gonna a system.
I think you're good.
Right.
The best way to portray Judaism.
Right. The marketing. That's what I was getting to. In
Fitting it to the consumer.
You're gonna reach every Jew in the world. Say, can I have a meeting with you? Like, about what? About Judaism. Yeah, yo man. So we all have tremendous qualities, and the problem is that we have a tendency, and I see the people, I see a lot of talented people, and sometimes we limit ourselves to just ourselves. I want to be successful. No, I want the world to be successful, right? And really thinking beyond yourself. So it's along those lines that I want us to connect to Rosh Hashanah, what Teshuvah is, the real Teshuvah. And that relates to two types of Teshuvah. There's the Teshuvah of the sheep. I'm sorry. And the Teshuvah of the lion. It's based on Chazal, right? The Teshuvah of the sheep and the Teshuvah of the lion. The Teshuvah of the sheep, it's someone who you feel guilty, you really focus on yourself, but on a very in a not such constructive way, not in a way. It's in a way. There's something called tikkun. There's something called Teshuvah. So we say tikkun amidot, tikkun klali, tikkun this, tikkun, right? Tikkun olam, but it's not the same word as Teshuvah. Teshuvah is the ultimate tikkun, so to speak. So tikkun is more the sheep. It's like, okay, I'm fixing my mistakes. I'm fixing my thing. Teshuvah is much greater than just fixing. Teshuvah it's returning to an entire different world. Tashuv, you return to a world that is completely different. It's not just like, I'm just fixing. I'm doing Teshuvah. No, that's not Teshuvah. Teshuvah is much beyond that. It's the level of the lion when you transcend who you are, because you understand that all those mistakes really, they're here to become someone. Meaning that the tikkun, which is more the teshuvah of the sheep, is like, you confront God. Oh God, I did this. I did that wrong. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm trying to fix. The lion, he say, whoa, God, what a test you gave me. Wow, I felt good, but I'm ready to go back up and fight this Yetzer, man. I'm on. Wow. I must be unbelievable to have such tests. Right? That's the lion. That's the lion. That's the one who is not in his corner crying. He's like, he's on fire. He's coming on Rosh Hashanah, or even this. Really, to me, it's almost the.
Yeah, but can you have that attitude if you consistently?
No, so you have to be honest and with yourself, obviously. But even if you fall again, what it says about the tzaddik falls 7 times, it goes back up 7 times, right? Again, a tzaddik is not someone who never fails. It's a mistake. There's tzaddik shetov, but tzaddik sheralo, right? There's a tzaddik who, a tzaddik is someone who constantly fights to stand again. That's what the real tzaddik is. And the rasha, or the weak, the sheep, is the one that keeps falling and just get depressed about it. More and more and more and more, and you go down the rabbit hole. It's not. You're never gonna go back up. You're not gonna use everything. Now, let's try to understand, okay, like what the man is, what's the ultimate mission of man in the first place. And this is fascinating. I'm telling you, it's if we understand that. When was man created? Man was created on Friday, right? Today was the second day of creation. Rosh Hashanah is not the day the world was created. Rosh Hashanah is the day of Adam Arishon, the first day of the year. That's why we know that the world is not 5,778 years old.
Right.
That
It's a function of
humanity is, but not the world. So, what's going on? On a bit Kabbalistic level, the world was created on Sunday, started being created, doing potential, and then Adam, the first man, was created, humanity was created on Friday. That means, what's Friday? Every day of the week corresponds to a sphera, to a Kabbalistic power. God made the world with 10 powers, but the lower world where we exist, mostly 7 powers, 7 notes of music, 7 days of creation, 7 colors of the rainbow. So, right, it's all the 7s. So which day was man created on? Sixth day.
Right.
Now,
Seventh day rested.
right? So what's every day, every sphera corresponds to a person, and we know that from the Ushpizin on Sukkos, right? The Ushpizin first day is Avram. Oh, interesting, by the way, Sundays, who does Shabbos on Sundays?
Christians.
The Christians. What's Avram about? What's his midah? What's his power?
Hospitality.
Chesed,
Kindness.
love, kindness. The religion of love. You hit me, you can hit me back. It's incredible, too much love, right? It's chesed, it's too much chesed, expensive chesed. Now Friday is the midah is the 6th. Which one is the 6th Ushpizin?
David, no?
That's the 7th. David Malchus is Hoshana Rabbah. 6 is, you say? Yosef. Yosef is the 6th. It's Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, Aaron, Yosef. Actually, is one and David. There's one opinion that puts Yosef after Moshe, Aaron, but according to most authentic Kabbalists, their result says Yosef is on the 7th, on 6th. So, Yosef is 6. So, who is Yosef? Yosef is correct to Yesod, the power of Yesod. What's Yesod? What does Yesod mean?
Pillar.
The essence.
What?
The essence.
More atzmut. It's what do you say?
It's like the pillar or the foundation.
Right. So it's the foundation. Yesod olam, foundation of the world, is the pillar. So it means that this gives you the secret of what a man really is. You want to know why God created the world and why God made man in this world. Like, what are we here for? Right? We're here to, to enjoy the world. We're here just to come and have a good time. Is that really what God intended? Just to come here and some struggle, have a good time? I don't think so. It will make sense. People who just have a good time all day don't end up having a good time, right? It's a bit of an illusion. If you, I cannot stand staying on vacation. I mean, after I don't know, maybe a month.
You need vacation from vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. I feel like
And by that vacation, you mean work.
Right. I used to
So true.
I used to go to take a bath. As a kid, I used to love bath. Even till maybe when yeshiva they didn't have anyway. And until 20 years old, I enjoy like a good bath. Now, the past 10, 15 years, I'm incapable of staying in the bath. After 5 minutes, like, what I'm doing? I mean, I don't bring my phone in the bathroom, so but so for the bath. Because obviously, if you're on the phone, you stay. But in the bath, I was like, okay, what I'm doing? I could be doing this, I could be doing that. Like, okay, it's nice, 5 minutes. So now I don't want to have all that of water for 5 minutes. It's ridiculous. I mean, you bring me in a jacuzzi, we can talk about that. That's different. Now my French sensors.
Some the cigars come out.
Right. That's a bit different. Chilling out. That's a bit different. But just bath alone like that. Just I don't enjoy it. So we need to be proactive. And so what it is that we're here for? And Rav Noach Weinberg says, it's what is it? What's it called? Well, Anderson is not from me, but he's from Korsami. Constant pleasure is no pleasure. The Gemara says that somewhere, right? At some point, you need to. So what I'm getting at Yosef. Yosef is the man who went through the most trauma in his life. Okay, first of all, he's hated by all his brothers, right? And not only that, he's sent by his father alone to his brothers, and he's taken by his brothers, knowing that they want to kill him. They throw him in a pit with snake and scorpions. After that, at the end, they change their mind, they take him out, and they sell him. You are being sold to your. First, you think you're gonna die. Then you're sold to Arabs. You know what's gonna happen to you. And you're a slave until you're sold to Potiphar's husband, right? Potiphar's wife, Potiphar's wife. So now a lot of people don't know because they're going to teach that in school, right? But Potiphar was gay, so they made a deal with his wife. I'm going to take him during the day, and you take him during the night. The problem is that each time he was trying to go with him, something happened, he couldn't. Yosef told him, the days are God, and if you keep trying, it's gonna go wrong. So he couldn't do anything at the end. Each time he had tried, so and she tried many times. Now, imagine the thing: you're sold by your own family. People think you're dead. You're sold by the Arabs. You're trying to be raped by
Both
by your boss, and both ends by Pectrum. Now you could easily say, okay. And he said, if you don't stay with me, I'll put you 10 years in jail. That's what happened, right? And what happened is that you say, okay, I have an excuse. She's Potiphar's pretty cute, she wants me. Okay, I
The
just.
husband doesn't mind.
Right, the husband doesn't mind. I'll just do it. But no, even then, at that level, he says, no, there's a purpose, there's still a meaning to my life, it's to lead somewhere. He stands strong. Not only that, after 22 years, I think, total, he goes from going to jail, and we're speaking Egyptian jails. Egyptian jails, even if you go today, it's a paradise compared to, and it's not good today. It's much worse than America anyway. But imagine 2,000 years from now, 3,000 years from now, it's probably the worst torture and anything.
Years ago.
Immorality, 3,000 years ago. It's like there's no electricity, guys. Right? No ACs, no bathroom, no ventilation.
Sitting there on the bottom
No
of the
toilet
pyramid
paper.
somewhere.
Yeah, today is like it's a 3-star hotel. Millions of dollars. It's
Free
like
room and board.
$8,000 per month for each inmate.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's better to be in jail than to be homeless. Great life.
Absolutely. Education,
Right?
exercise,
Yeah.
3 meals a day.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Roof over your head.
I'm really thinking about it. I'm
new
struggling as a
career path,
rabbi.
yeah.
I'm gonna be a rabbi in jail. I think I have plenty of customers all day long. Come talk to me.
Don't let your wife hear that.
No. Oh yeah.
New Rabashka.
Yeah, no. Just joking. But what's happening? He stands strong, and from the one day to the other, he becomes vice king of Egypt, the most powerful country in the world. He has all the power in the world. He could technically do whatever he wants. Get any girl. He gets girls sending their necklace with their names, like, take me, whatever you want. I'll be yours. No, he stands strong, and he chooses a woman that is connected to his Lavan, and then he marries, and he has Jewish kids, and he stands strong. And when his brothers come back, he doesn't get back at them. I mean, he tricks them because he wants them to
He
do
drops a
Teshuvah.
truth bomb like.
Right, right.
By the way.
By the way, it's me.
Drop the
Come
mic.
back.
Gotcha.
Right. Action. So, right. So the idea is that he doesn't fight back. He doesn't, get angry and wants to, right. And he brings all of them back and gives them jobs and all that. And so what's Joseph? Joseph is a pillar of strength. This happened to me. This happened to me. This happened to me. He's the spiritual Rocky. Spiritual Rocky. Get down, go back up. Get down, go back up. Get slapped, go back up. And he stands. And what's telling you, what the true essence of what man is meant to be? The man who stands through every challenges. That's what a man really is. And really what that means is that our Teshuvah should be focused on that, on not, I failed the challenge. It's like, I failed to react to the challenge in a way that was like a lion. I was a sheep. I'm complaining, man, I did this, man, I'm such a bad boy, man, I did this. Stop with you, man. Bring the lion. Bring the lion. All right? But be a man and stand up. Okay, you're struggling with this. Make a revolution so that not just you who struggle with that is gonna have a change in his life. Because if you just focus on yourself, you forget about the whole world and the purpose of the world. The purpose of the world is that we should all be lions, not just a flock of sheep that's gonna follow the shepherd. Right? We should all be shepherd. So this is the and that's what Hashem wants us to be to stop complaining and to have real bitachon. If you think about it, at the end, it makes sense that this whole world is about going through challenges, because that's what happens to us all the time. This challenge with the girl, with the family, with the parents, with myself, with the rabbis, with the whatever it is, business. It's like one after the other, Like it's like I was explaining to, I don't know who I was explaining that. I was explaining the whole thing. Oh yeah, suddenly the motivational thing, like about suffering. It's like you give birth after giving birth. Like you give birth, like I give birth, and then the contraction, and then you're able to go through, and then again. It's like how I'm gonna be able to handle that? I mean, like. But you do it again. Look at those Hasidic ladies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Incredible. They're the biggest lioness I ever saw. And we have to emulate that. We have to emulate that. And I believe that's why it says the woman. It's not that we're going to save just through the woman. It's going to save through the feminine power. What's the feminine power? The feminine power is the power of process. 9-month process and going through a struggle and then giving birth. And then healing slowly, and then going back to have another one. Are you crazy? You felt that you were dying. You're ready to do another one? Yeah. That's life. Life comes from those struggles. Literally, life comes from that pregnancy. There's no life without pregnancy. So it is really, I think, what we're trying to reach on Rosh Hashanah. You come Rosh Hashanah, and you tell to your little sheep inside you, it's like, you're nice, I like your wool, I like to pet you, but that's it. I'm a grown up now. I don't need you. I don't need to complain anymore. You can vent a bit because you're emotional. We need to speak. But that's it. I have to man up. Stop complaining. Start taking things as a man, as a lion. The thing as a man is you build, literally, you build on each mistake, and you fall, and then you bring it a bit higher, and you fall, and you bring it a bit higher, and you fall, and bring it a bit higher. 7 times you fall, 7 times. That's what the tzaddik is, and that's where it's at. And the tzaddik is Yesod, and the Yesod is Yosef, and Yosef is Friday, is mankind's Adam HaRishon. What's the biggest failure of Adam HaRishon on Friday? He went to hide behind a tree. Meh. He didn't take responsibility. So stop hiding behind a tree. Go out, say, yeah, I did it. And what do we know? Who is the first one who actually say, I did it publicly, I did that sin? Yehuda. At that moment, God said, Moshiach from you. Whoa. Changes everything. You take full responsibility for what you did. You stand up like a man. You're not afraid to be humiliated. And you stand and say, yeah, it's my fault. Not hurt being punished. Didn't do anything. Now that's Moshiach. So what's Moshiach? How do we be Moshiach? How do we bring the world really to what it needs to be? How do we end up all those Teshuvahs that seems to go nowhere? By being a Yehuda, by being a lion. And Yehuda, by the way, is the sign of the lion. Everything's connected. So the sign of Moshiach, the sign of the lion, the sign of changing the world. If we really don't want to go just through another year and just each time doing the same thing, you have to see yourself build up from the past time. And maybe next time you're going to fall even more because you have reached a higher level. But guess what? It says like that. It's programmed that you, Yetzirah, is going to go to the level that you're reaching. So you're always constantly reaching for higher, falling higher, but really getting more higher. Right? It's all about getting high at the end. But you realize that that's the system we live in, and that's life. Life is not being happy all the time. Life is hurting yourself, crying, wiping your tears, standing back up, fixing the thing, and going to something even better. And that's I think if you approach Rosh Hashanah like that, you have a complete different Rosh Hashanah.
I agree.
And you can really you come in front of God as a lion. I'm your lion. I'm your soldier. I'm your captain. That's how you come on Rosh Hashanah. And by the way, I actually this year
You got your cape?
not a cape. No, but I got. It looks like it's actually from Zara, but it's a jacket. It looks like a Marines or like military blue, navy blue.
Oh, nice.
Jacket, but right, but the thing's there.
Nice.
So I I'm coming to the kings, and sometimes you use those little things, act it out. Don't be afraid to, there's always people who you look different. We all look different already, But you go places people just laugh or they don't understand. Don't play the game. Make it real. I'm a real soldier. I'm coming in front of God, and I'm gonna make my my mark, my stamp, my and you believe that you really do it and you act it out, and if you act it out, it becomes real. One of the things I do, actually we bow on Rosh Hashanah, so in a way you could do that, but a lot of people, they bow. I don't know if I will show you how I don't do it always in shul because obviously people they're not gonna call me rabbi, they call me heretic or something. Nothing really wrong with it, but because it's just the way people are used to do it. But the way I bow, right? So I say, I do Baruch, Ata, and Hashem, right? If you ever see the people when they bow in front of a king, that's what they do. First, or in the soldiers movies, right? They come with a.
They're perfectly accurate,
Right?
Because the soldiers movies are always perfectly accurate.
No, like the knights, you
Right,
see the
that's
thing
true.
with the knights. They come like that with a sword, and then they bow the head down as a full recognition, right? And then when the king says, okay, raise up, then you raise your head. That's when you say Hashem, right? And the same thing, we do Baruch, which is you knee. In the past, we go on the floor anyway. And then Ata it's really by Sephardim they just move the head down technically. But we do everything, and that's where you step. And then you go back and you say Hashem when you have to be straight. So it's the same exact thing, but when we do it in our davening, it looks like it's a davening movement. But when you practice it as if you're a real king, just that position like that, you feel like I'm really in front of the king. Like it's not just a yoga thing, right? It's actually a real thing. So sometimes you have to find tools and ways to practice that reality. And at the beginning, you might do it home alone when you have at home, not to appear too weird. And your wife is going to say you're weird, and you're going to be used to it. And then once you're used to your wife, you can be used to anyone, so to speak.
I feel like you gotta come to shul with one of those like Muslim prayer rugs,
Right.
you know, and whip it out and then do it.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
always how I felt. Like on Yom Kippur, bowing down, it's like I don't have like a picture in my mind of like what God looks like, so I'm really just bowing down to the guy in front of me or the table, like whatever's going on. Like,
Mhm.
I never felt like I was like I'm a soldier bowing to a king. Like it was always just like, oh, everyone's putting their heads down.
right. Yeah, absolutely.
This is what we're doing now, I guess.
And it always felt weird because I don't bow to anything. Like
Right.
It's a lot more comfortable doing that bow than going straight down.
You what?
It's a lot more comfortable
That
doing
looks-
Oh,
that
yeah.
bow than going down on your knees.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's
it's
true.
better for your posture. Doctor recommended.
Certified by the Department of
G.
Health. G.
For sure, like some guy who was a knight and had to do like the full bow and then became king was like, that was annoying, super uncomfortable.
That's changing it. Yeah, absolutely.
Over his head.
Anyway, so
the putting your head down.
Yeah.
When I took kung fu, we as students always, whenever like at the end of the class, you would each like
Right.
we would put our head down, but the master would never put his head down.
right.
Like he would never like, and then when you fight someone, you don't put your head down. You go like this. You keep your
Oh,
head up
okay,
because you
no
don't
problem.
trust them. You might attack.
Yeah, because
you
like-
never go like this before a fight. Or, like,
Yeah,
only to a
that makes
master
sense, that
do you
makes
bow
sense.
your head. That's
Makes sense. And also because I did also some things when you leave the room, you have to leave like that. You cannot turn your back.
like at the hotel.
Right, like at the kotel. And like I the halakha with the Rebbe is that when you leave, you're not supposed to, unless he's living with you, but you're not supposed to turn your back to him. So when I leave my Rebbe, I leave his office, I go backward and open the door like that. People don't know
So that's why the Chabad people who like still believe in the Rabbah, whatever, they go to the Bima and they take $1 and then back away.
Oh,
from
that's
it.
possible.
Take
Yeah,
$1,
that
back
makes sense.
away from it.
Yeah, that's where it comes from. Yeah.
Okay.